Guys, so today's session, I think we are on session 10, right? Yeah, this is session number 10, and today we'll start with the revision as always. In the revision, we have about three CSS properties, which are text align, background color, background, and also we have two HTML elements, which are div and the span tag. And we have about two HTML identifiers or selectors, which is ID and a class selector. Right. We have two selectors which are ID and class selectors. Can I just ask a question to you guys? What do you use a class? Why do we declare a class on an element? What is the intention behind that?
Okay, so the class is for the name.
Okay.
So the target name.
On CSS?
Yes.
Okay.
And you use the dot for
Yeah.
and then for ID you use the
Hashtag.
So it's the thing that you do.
Okay. Can I ask you, can you tell me the difference or because as much as they are both selectors, they work different. There is, I won't say there is what and what. Can you just tell me what is the difference between an ID and a class? Or it's not really like a difference, but there is some constraint on the other selector. So can you guys specify what selector is doing what and what selector is doing what?
I'll do class.
Sorry?
I'll do class and then I'll class.
Okay, class.
Class is like you put dot class whatever container, whatever you put in body. Then it's like in those brackets you can put what color, what those for that specific paragraph you want, like things like that. So like from the HTML you need to link, put in the HTML also like for the class container, so that there's like the ID word almost. So when you go into the CSS one, you can just put dot container and then open the bracket, you put all the information you want to change, so it looks nice and neat.
Okay. Who else?
I think I didn't have
Okay, no, it's fine.
So with the ID, you need to dash goes to a specific thing. Because it can only cover like one name, but with the class you can target like different with specifying.
Okay.
With the hash it only goes to its name.
So what you're saying is an ID has to be unique, right? Which is each element has to have its own ID, right? Same with the identification number that you have, because it's unique to, there is nobody that has the same ID number as you, right? But a class is like a name. I know a lot of Zainab.
Oh yes.
You see, but whenever I want to reference to Zainab, just because I know there's a lot of Zainab, I can say, I'm looking for Zainab because it's still her name, right? And the minute I say Zainab, she's going to answer. It's very unfortunate when there is a lot of Zainab around. Let's say we have.
So that's like one specific.
So now you got it. So you just spoke about being specific. In CSS, there's a whole module on specificity, which is how elements are selected and how the specificity is calculated behind that. Because as much as we have two, for now, and we have two selectors, which is the ID and a class, right? If you were to declare on an element an ID attribute and the class attribute, and both take them to CSS, declare different styles and see what would appear. The ID would appear, not the style that is in the class. Reason being, the specificity. So the ID is more stronger in specificity than the class, right? but we'll get there when we're on that section. I'm just telling you what you just you triggered me by saying, which means man ID is very specific because it is very unique in each element, right? So that was it. So then we'll take a break after that. After the break, I doubt if we'll take a break because we don't have much time left. Then we'll speak about the nth child serial selector. You know, when you read this name, you need to calm your nerves down because you might just nth child pseudo selector. After that, we'll do descendant selector. Who is familiar with the word descendant?
Like calling descendants.
Okay. Do you agree?
No, I was waiting for Sir to come to the board and I can give my explanation.
Okay. Then on the last one, we have first of type pseudo selector. So can you just help us clarify on what you see there?
Okay. This is, I think this is the way.
Okay, sure.
So the nth child pseudo selector, so this is like, I don't know if you noticed, okay, if you guys watched the previous videos and some play, but they use something like, so like LI, you have Jack was not made, you use one in, or not one in, I mean, two in, so every second one, but it's like to specify really what you want that person to do. And with the descendant, it's the same concept over, but you can use it with, it is usually a parent and it's like a child. I don't say this one, but so like you can use dot class names like container and that is something that you want to like change
Target, yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember this one clearly, but I think with this one you use the type of the attribute, not the word clearly, and then you can say something like first. So the first element in that specific thing will change color or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Let's say
I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry.
you got that 85%, right? But let's just go in depth and see and understand what Zainab was saying, and also I'll add in my 2 cents here and there so that you can find value in what we are talking about today on this session. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm looking for where is it? There is it. See this one. Can you help us in reading that? And can you guys try to just pause with the assignment because now I'm doing the session? Because when I get here tomorrow and ask you about what we did today, you won't remember it because you're busy with the other stuff. So can you kindly just minimize the assignment and readjust your focus on this? Right. So Cindy, can you read the first paragraph?
Background color. This is a CSS property used to set the background color of an HTML element. It can be applied to elements using a specific color value or a transparent value.
Okay. Can I just come and add something? So as much as we are learning about coding, how to write softwares, how to write code, how to think like a developer, all of that, we need to understand that we also need to have presentation skills, because on the day of the assignment, which is tomorrow, or I might do it Monday, I need you guys to explain everything that you did, which is also explain the side that you did to me so that I can understand. So you need to at least invest more time in your presentation skills. Like right now, like we're speaking right now, I'm asking you to read. I'm asking asking everyone to read, because I just want to hear your presentation skills so that I can know, okay, you're lacking this and that, because on my side, to the place that I was coming from, I was only good when it comes to coding, right? So I had to just to learn the soft skills, which is presenting, having eye interaction with whoever I'm interacting with, so that I can understand the audience, right? So that I can deliver something that is listenable at the same time. Just picture an investor waiting to invest something on you while you're presenting. Even when you're reading there, just make sure that your tone and this goes to you too as well, because I've noticed that your tone is a bit low. Same with that. You guys, your tone are on the right level. Aisha, ow, that one. Yeah.
She got really seasoned.
Yeah. So this is just what I'm saying, that you need to polish your presentation skills, because there is going to be time whereby you guys are involved in the hackathon, so that you need to explain your idea. Remember, we are coders. We deal with business people who don't understand a thing about coding. So you need to try to explain everything to them, like in business language,
And
not in a technical sense.
also, besides the fact that it's very easy, sometimes they use time.
Yeah, they don't understand the work we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to convey something like that in such a little amount of time sometimes, or when there's too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just note that. So background color, this is a CSS property used to set the background color of an HTML element. It can be applied to elements using a specific color value or transparent value. Zainab, can you read the second paragraph?
Background. The CSS property is a shorthand property for setting various background properties of an element in a single declaration. It includes background color, background image, background repeat, background position, and background size.
Okay. So as much as this, ever since we got to CSS, the session that we do are a bit chunked up. So they may look tiny, but the content in them is a lot. Example, just the background property alone. It needs us to understand all the, is it 5? Because it's a shorthand property. Because we have background color and background image, background repeat, background position, and background size. So we need to understand what those properties do in the background and their effect on the background, so that we can use them like comfortable. Because it's all about moving comfortable. Because in coding, it's not like you don't know. You are not comfortable yet. Because the first time you get an error, you think like, I'm nothing, I don't know how to code. But eventually, when you get used to it, you know, oh, I'm learning. So it's like that. Pushing boundaries, never stopping. That's why I keep on saying code, code, code. Right. Oh, there it goes again. So let's go back on this. Sister, can you read us?
So you know what my name is even? Yes, he said it earlier, can't read. Listen.
She did not hear me, but thank you.
I know so text alignment. This CSS property is used to set the horizontal alignment of the text content within an HTML element. It can be aligned left, right, center, or justified.
Okay. So this CSS property is used to set the horizontal alignment of a text content within an HTML element. It can be aligned left, right, center, or justified. So this property is used for horizontal alignment, which is starting from left to right. Let's say if you want to align something on the left, you can use the property. If you want to align something on the center, don't mind the text aligned. It's not specific only to text. It can also apply in images, by the way, because they are content, right? It's not only in text. No.
I thought it was only text because it's also online items.
Yeah, it's not just text. Like, remember, we have media types. Let's go back there. We have media types, which is text is another media type, which is plain text. It is .txt.
So this is almost
right?
like a picture.
Images, JPEG or PNG, still same thing. Or you can even try it, sorry.
So it's almost like a picture in HTML with a center, like you can move it, like use a certain tag to move it around.
Okay. I highly recommend you to not use that
I think
tag.
making a difference. It's almost like the type of because you can, I think, a left, right, center, or justify.
Yeah.
It's almost like that you can move it on the
Yeah. Yes, it is that. Oh, Aisha, how are you?
Okay.
We spoke yesterday. I remember that you said that you were going to be late, but
The
we
people taxi waited like half an hour before.
half an hour.
So I waited half an hour in that taxi, very hard late, and I missed the bus. So then I had to wait. The bus took years to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, but the taxi waited was only for more people. Yeah, but like it's not my fault.
I understand. So are you logged in on your device?
What is that?
Okay, sure. So how far are you with the assignment? Submitted?
Number of days because
Okay, can you just tell them how to submit, because I already saw that you did the submission on Google Class.
Mariam sent the email to everyone. We must submit the first assignment we done and second assignment by the Google thing. So you must go into the email, go to details, email, but the account show you where you can upload the assignment. You just click on the upload the assignment in one of the emails, go to assignment 1 and other assignment 2.
okay, so assignment 2 is the actual assignment that we do, and assignment 1 is the one surplus items.
Okay. So what we have there is the revision of what we spoke about yesterday. Right now we're on text align. She read for us the text align property. So let's give it to you so that you can read for us the background. No. Div and span tags. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. These are external elements used to define sections or divisions within a web page. Div is a block level container that can contain other elements, while span is an inline container often used for styling a specific portion of text within a block level element.
Okay, so div and span tags, these are HTML elements used to define sections or divisions within a web page. Div is a block level container, right? Remember what is a block level container? A block level container. Can you tell us?
So with the, you can go into the next line.
Okay.
Like you can add.
So what she is basically saying is with div, a div, it takes the full width of the viewport, which is starting from left to right, not the full height, the full width. So when we declare another element, it go below it, not next to it. So the difference between the div and the span is that a span is in line, which means if you were to declare a span and declare another element, they will just sit in line next to it. So that is the difference between the span and the div. Because if you notice, a span is mostly used in text to highlight text or to highlight some portion of something, right? You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Finish up. Did you read for us? Oh, you did?
Yes.
Did you read for us? I want everyone to read the part. Did you read? I go on, sis. Choma go.
IDF plus selectors. These are CSS selectors used to style HTML elements. ID selectors are denoted by a hash followed by a unique identifier, and the class selectors are denoted by a dot followed by a class name.
So ID and class selectors, these are CSS selectors used to style HTML elements. ID selectors are denoted by a hash, symbol, followed by a unique identifier. Because hash is a symbol, right? Let's just call it what it is. So ID and class selectors, these are CSS selectors are used to style HTML elements. ID selectors are denoted by a hash, followed by a unique identifier, and a class selector are denoted by a dot / period, followed by a class name. Okay, sure, let's move on to another fish. I keep on saying Elaphistan like I know what it means.
You understand?
Yeah, do you all understand? Yeah, so, okay. Let's start with the quiz. I just want to see the level of understanding in your brains. The level of understanding in your brains. We're not done yet. I'm just asking everyone, then we go in depth. So, is there anyone here who can tell me what is a CSS selector?
A CSS
She raised her hand. Okay. Sorry guys. Like, can I just say something to everyone? Like, guys, there's a lot of you guys, you know. So sometimes when I speak and let's say I'm speaking to her and you're speaking to her, it's confusing you who to answer. Like, who must I answer? Because if I leave you, you'll feel offended. Like, oh, maybe my answer is not valid. It's not about that. Like, I want to, let's do it like in an orderly way. Let's raise hands if we have to. Like, I think I'm going to have to buy sticky notes if you have a question so that you can put it there. Because I don't want to seem to be like I'm selective. I'm just selecting this few or that. You understand? So can you give us, then after you sing this up? No. Yes, you wanted to speak. That's the thing. You don't want to be interactive. Huh? Oh, okay, sure. So, sister?
I think I'm right that I think the selector is when you sort of see this document, then the word, like the dot, contained in the like the selector to stop the entire bracketing. Like I don't know that. But I remember when I did the research, it was with the word there. I'm just using container thing that's like the selector element selector. Then use the bracket is the information of what the is and stuff like that.
Okay. I'll come back to you. Cindy, so the back, can you try to explain in your own understanding?
Okay, what the selector is. First, I realized what the selector is, and I said that the topic is HTML elements. And within the, or rather next to the CSS selector, you have the declaration box, which in my understanding, the declaration box manages or indicates the behavior of the selector. For instance, if my selector is the p.html element, then in my declaration box I would have the property which is color, meaning that I want to manage the color of the paragraph, which is the selector, and then what color do I want it to be, which is now the value of the color.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I answered the question.
Okay, sure. Now you did. You both did, guys, and you both are correct in a way. Can I just? I'm not moving away from the first question. I just want to expand in a bit because I see there's something there. Can you just, guys, give me 3 types of selectors? 3 types. Any of you guys?
Are you asking me examples or like
3 types. Yeah, 3 types. 3 types. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Class,
Yes.
attributes,
Attributes. So she said selectors target HTML elements, right? Using what? ID, classes, attributes. An example, which is the attribute href, you can use that to, let's say, if you're using just the plain href attribute, it would select each and every element that has that href attribute. So we use it like you use a class ID and an attributes, right? But there is an alternative way of selecting elements without giving them an ID or a class, which is what this class is about here, which is pseudo selectors.
So that's like if is it represents
The nth of
it's like P and like so it's all the paragraph related like that.
Not really, because when you're using a tag, you can also target HTML elements using the tags, right? But the problem with the tags, just picture this: you are targeting a div, right? And you are targeting just one div, and it turns out in your page you have about 8 divs. So whatever is contained in those divs, the styling is going. If you are using a tag as a selector, if you're using a tag as a selector, it's going to target each and every div in your page, which is dangerous because that's not the kind of behavior you are interested in, unless you want that behavior, right? So That's why.
You could, okay, it's
No, speak
now,
maybe.
I was going to say, also specify which type. Like, it's also say P, but I can say P with a specific clause. That's what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
You can specify also. I'm just being like generally. Because survey, clause, ID, activity, right? But remember, the tag, is it activity?
No.
So that's why I asked, is the alternative tag, like the elements, like tags?
Yeah.
That's my question.
So, okay. Remember, the element is an element is made up of two things, which is the opening and the closing tag. Then it is an element. When they are both standalone, they are called tags, right? But when you constructed an element, it is made up of two, which is opening and closing. It is no longer a tag when it has an opening and a closing. It is a tag. And we have also elements that are self-closing, so that don't have the closing tag. They are self-closing. So those elements, they are called void elements, but they are still elements, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So, who can tell me what is a descendant selector?
I already said it in the beginning, so they can speak. I'm not going to say it again.
Okay. Did you guys understand the descendant selector? We have not covered, don't worry. Just, we did not cover it yet. I'm about to cover it.
The way she explained it was, it's like when you have a component, the descendant is like a thing that so you can select.
Okay, is it fair for me to say you are the descendant of your grandfather? Is that fair?
Yeah, so is it like selecting the child parent?
Yeah.
So it's like the descendant that selects the relative one. So for example, I have a div and I have each one reading and of the time another div. Or a pet, yeah, in that other div is a paragraph. It's only gonna that if I decide to color to only apply to the H1 reading. Something like that.
Okay, let me just. Okay, guys, so in HTML, right, the first, what is the first thing we declare when we are writing? Okay, just look at your HTML page. The don't type, then the next thing, HTML. That is going to include everything. Then, so, each and every tag that is wrapped within that HTML element is a descendant of the HTML element because it is like a grandparent, which is everything that is wrapped around it. It automatically inherits the behavior of the parent. But let me just give you an example. If you had set the color of the text and the color, whenever you type the text, it will reflect what is in the parent because it inherited what was in it. Right? We do know that we can inherit diseases from our relatives, my grandfather, my father, years ago. Oh, we have this. Grandfather had this. Like with me, it was TB when I think it was last year, early last year. So like they told me, oh, your grandfather had the same thing. He had a weak immune system. So I'm like, okay. So this is not the first thing. This is not the new thing at home. So everybody knows it. Okay, I'm going to get healed because I know someone in the family did the same thing. So I'm just giving you this human example so that you can understand. Remember, I spoke to you guys about association to create, in order for one to create long-term memories. Hence, I did sometimes and try to give you some examples that you guys are familiar with. Right? Yeah. So, we were speaking about the descent selector. What is the end pseudo selector? I think I already spoke about this. Yes. So, who can tell us? Not Zainab. Not Zainab. Can you try to tell us about the pseudo selector, Aisha? Just try in your own mini understanding, if you have an understanding. Even if you don't have an understanding, just say what you think.
So I actually have no clue, but I know pseudo.
I like that answer.
But I know pseudo means fake. So I don't know. I guess it's not exactly a selector, but something that impersonates a selector.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay. Who can tell us about the first of type pseudo selector?
The what?
I think she spoke about it.
Yeah, I spoke about everything besides the selector.
Okay, the first of type pseudo selector. Anyone? Okay. So let's say you have a list, an ordered list, right? That has 4 nested list items, right? So, in order for you to grab the first in the list, the first list item, there is a pseudo selector for that. The first of type pseudo selector is going to select the first li in the list, which is on the ordered list. There is also another pseudo selector, which is the last of type. I'm sure you know that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but when you guys leave here, please do more research on these selectors, because you'll use them when you doing another assignment, because you'll be working on top of the assignment that you already made, which is the HTML template. You'll just expand that by adding styles in the same project that you already started, right? So yeah. So we won't even take this 15 minutes break because Aisha already gave it to us.
Thank you, Aisha.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So we're back on the break. So the nth child pseudo class in CSS allows you to select elements based on their position within a parent element. It takes an argument in the form of an equation like an an plus b. To define which elements to select, it selects elements that match the formula provided. Let me just go through that again. The nth child pseudo class in CSS allows you to select elements based on their position within a parent element. It takes an argument in the form of an equation like an plus b to define which elements to select. It selects elements that match the formula provided. Yes. Are we all clear? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say that part. Just type nth child on your Google, which is MDN. Let me just read it for the last time so that you guys can try to. Yo, guys. No. It's a selector. It's a selector.
I see here there's a list and in the int chart.
Yeah.
Read what's in between those brackets of the int chart. Yeah, so it only applies to whatever that equation is and that window is, so that you can start with this. I don't know make sense.
Okay, yeah. Look, for now I'll just explain this, and then I suggest that we go in depth with the revision, so that I can give you guys at least this time until you get home, so that you can just see if you can find a video or two about this, right? Yeah. So, as I was saying, the nth child pseudo class in CSS allows you to select elements based on their position. So, as long as we remember this part, because this is the crucial part on this nth child explanation, it selects element based on their position. Remember, based on their position, right? Remember before we spoke about classes IDs, which is it targets element using an ID, but this one is using what? A parent plus the pseudo selector. She said the pseudo, the definition for pseudo is something that is not real. Right?
I have a question.
Yeah. Okay, you can try to everything. Yeah. So it takes an argument in the form of an equation like an an plus b to define which elements to select. It selects elements that match the formula provided. So the descendant selector in CSS selects all the elements that are descendants of a specified element. It's represented by a space between two selectors. It's used to apply styles to an element that is a descendant of another specified element. Let me just go through that again. The descendant selector in CSS selects all the elements that are descendants of a specified element. It's represented by a space between two selectors. It's used to apply styles to an element that is a descendant of another specified element. Did you understand? Plus on MDN, you can just write descendant selector MDN on Google, then it will take you straight to combinators. I think, yeah, they are in combinators. Just 5 minutes, I'll read the value, MDN, breadth, number. And we're recording. We could just keep. So next time we'll publish with this.
Okay, next time we'll do the whole guys.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay, now I understand. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. I thought you just skipped all the pages.
We not dead people. We
Okay. Oh shit, I'm like, no, this is what I expected. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah. So, we were speaking about descendant selector, right?
Yes.
Okay. The descendant selector in CSS selects all elements that are descendant of a specified element. It's represented by a space between two selectors. It's used to apply styles to an element that is a descendant of another specified element. Okay. So the first type of pseudo class in CSS selects the first element of a specified type among its siblings. It's useful when you want to style the first occurrence of a specific type of element. So guys, do you still remember when I spoke about children, parents? So what I didn't speak about was, let's say, if we have a div wrapping, let's say 4 or 5 elements, right? So the div is the parent. The nested elements are the children. But those nested elements, the relationship between all of them, they are called siblings, right? So the first of type pseudo class in CSS selects the first element of a specified type among its sibling, which is, remember the example that I gave you? Let's say in an order list, you have about 6 list items, and you were only interested in styling just the first one, right? The first type pseudo class is what it does. It does that because it selects the first on the list, which is because there's a. Remember, I said the nested children. The relationship between the nested children is what? They are siblings, right? And like, let's just go back to the examples that we had. Like, I have 7 siblings. The first one is like Neliswa, right? If they're interested in the first sibling, boom, the first type pseudo class. If they're interested in the last one, there is also a pseudo class selector that is last of type, right? So first and last of type, they work similar, but it is just the order. It is just the order around it, because the first of type pseudo class, it selects the first in the list. Then the last, it selects the last item in the list. So, let's start. 100%. Any questions? Going once?
I think the examples were I've seen
twice. Okay, the examples.
Yeah, adult boards.
Yeah. And so I'll give you examples. Then what you need to do for me is research when you get home. Or download video here. Then on your way home, just watch those videos so that you can have more questions for me tomorrow. Right? So let's go to another slide. Yeah. So finally, examples. So the nth child, same definition, which is the nth child CSS pseudo class matches element based on the indexes of the elements in the child list of their parents. In other words, the nth child selector selects child elements according to their position among all the sibling elements within a parent element. Can you guys understand that?
So, I see in the first line item, the minus n plus 3, does that specify that the first 3 will be whatever values that you can go for the first 3?
That is the formula. By the way, you can... Okay, there's a site, I think I'm going to share this with you on the group, that is called CSS Tricks and Tips and Tricks, right? If you want to expand your knowledge on pseudo selectors, you can use MTL plus CSS Tips and Tricks, right? So just, even when you're searching at home, just type CSS Tips and Tricks. It's the first thing that appears on the top. That is usually your answer. So there's a perfect example here. I know this example has an output, but I would like us to focus on this one because solidity is more helpful. So the nth of a type selector allows you to select one or more elements based on their source order according to a formula. It is defined in the CS selector level step 3, which is, if you want to understand, the formula, like, of how the end chart works, because sometimes you see in between these brackets there is sometimes odd or even. So you need to understand those values, how do they work, because sometimes it selects forward. So you can just skip this one, skip this one. What happens with that? So that is my assignment for you as minister. Just do research on this, and please speak to me tomorrow on this, because I'll have to go in depth about it. I'll show you some combinations, what to add, what to add, the best practices of it. Yeah. So we're here. So let's say that the nth of type selector allows you to select one or more elements based on their source order according to a formula. That is defined in the CSS selectors level 3 spec as a structural pseudo class, meaning it is used to style content based on its relationship with parent and sibling elements. Right. Suppose we have an unordered list and we wish to have a stripe or connecting list items. So, if we're interested, let's say, let me just give you an example. To the first one, you can just write what here, like on the nth chart, list item. This is list items. When it searches it, you will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is siblings, 5 siblings, right? But when you want to target the first one, you can just write 1, or if you want to skip 1 and start, you can just write 4 or even. It depends on the thing that you want to achieve, right? So, yeah, for now, let me just close this so that we have enough brain to do research. Because it can damage you, I know, but it can be weird, but I think you'll get it, man. For now, it's still new, but it will sink. I wanted to ask a question before I went to the room. So, do you guys understand the word repetition, not reputation? Repetition.
Repetition, something you repeat.
Yes. I just wanted to tell you guys that repetition is the power, right? Right now, I just introduced you to the selectors, these selectors. You don't know anything right now, right? But if you can just, when you leave, when you're at home, just go through the same video that I showed you, you'll see it will start making sense because you're not playing it for the first time. Like, do you know a smash hit is created? It is a smash hit because of being repeated, right? Right now, I can play a song which is a youngster CPT song that you don't like. I know that you don't like, right? But the minute you get out of here and hear someone playing somewhere, and that song is boring. Same stuff happens when you're at home. That song is boring. You play radio, same song that is playing. Then you go 2 days without hearing the song. Then when it comes, whenever like you're at a taxi or you'll sing it, you'll know it lyric by lyric because it has been repeated over and over so much so that you understand each and every word in it. So that's why I'm saying repetition is power. That's how you program your subconscious, by repeating the instructions all over again until it becomes a pattern, right? So for now, you may not understand this, but the more you visit the page, it will make sense. Because it's like you are building, right now, I'm just giving you a foundation. Then you will build on top of that foundation. Right, these are fundamentals so that you know, there is this, I can use that. But if you want to expand on it, which means more research on it, then. You understand? Yes, sir. Let's go on this one. Okay, sure. There is that, but rather than adding classes, okay, can you check the text below the code example? Rather than adding classes to each list item, examples, .even, we can use nth of type, right? It's telling us what I was saying. Instead of using classes and IDs as selectors, we can just use pseudo selectors, right? So what we spoke about is just written there so that you can see it too. Come on. come
I
out.
want to ask actually, why is there a minus in front of the x because it's going the same way?
Okay, sure. It's starting from the bottom up until
Yeah.
the third one. So that is the formula, but that is not the only formula used.
That's what it's going up the way.
Yeah, yeah. In order for you, sorry?
If it's going up the tree, not minus.
You need to check on the formula and understand the formula, because how the formula is built, right? It's really weird. It's like it's basic mathematics, right? But it's structured in a way whereby like it's all about order, right? Let's say -1, maybe it's starting from the top to the bottom, but that +3 is just telling us how much do we take starting from right the top up until the counted steps, which is +3. I'm not sure if you guys remember the mathematics that had a T of n. Do you remember that? That is the same thing. Oh, who remembers the number existence?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's a like in a number pattern, so it's like this what is it?
Number pattern.
From school now. You know when it goes like 8 plus
Yeah.
something in there. It's that one.
You got it. But you need to understand the formula more on tips and tricks. Again, CSS tips and tricks. You can just write CSS tips and tricks and space out, then nth chart. Then it will give you the full list, so you can jump on the formula, or you can just specify the formula, CSS nth chart formulas. Yeah.
I don't know this will help. No, but just think of it as math. You know, sort of one.
Yeah.
So you say 1 minus 3 gives you 2, and you put 2 or something like that. That's what but I know if you put 3 down, it's algebra.
Yeah. So in my, I'm not sure about this. I think I'm going to just to challenge you guys on a bit. So you see, on MDN, this nth child is the picture is taken from MDN, right? So if you can do this at home, just search nth child and find this example. If you can see on the -n, I want you guys to just write plus and see the behavior.
Oh, you do that.
Yeah, if you want to do it now, you can do it now. I just wanted to see something. Let's be interactive with it so that we can try to make it sync faster on our heads.
Oh, it starts at 3. So it's like, because I know if you put 3 down, it starts with 3. So I wasn't sure what the mindset does. I had my, like my own ideas. That was one of the ideas that I mentioned earlier. But yeah.
So each and every time you guys don't understand a thing, remember MDN is there for that. And I can. No, I know you know, but I'm just saying, like in the middle. Yeah, okay.
It highlights more
From
from the bottom. But it highlights more than 3.
more than 3. Are you sure? Because there's already pre-populated highlights.
But starts highlighting from
Okay.
3, sir.
Okay, let me tell you that. Can you just remove the paragraph? Oh no. The second one, the second LIN even thing, because I think it is coming out of that behavior, the light yellow. If you can just try to remove the last one and just focus on this one. Remove the last one and see what it gives. Can you see? Oh, okay. Can you press on examples? Scroll down. Examples. Are you on the
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
If you guys are lazy to wait, I think we just found the formulas. You did it. Aye. So tomorrow, you must make sure that you submit your understanding on it so that you can just, what you speak about it. Before you came, I spoke to the guys about the presentation skills. So that is all. just telling you guys, can you come and read this for me? Okay, it was me. I'm assessing your presentation skills because with these projects that you guys are doing, when we, let's say, when we do the projects, we have to explain each and everything, which is technical-wise, and also the website. The website is what I see. But also, take me through the technical aspect, which is your tags, your element actions that you have, this and that. Right? So that's why I'm telling you sometimes to come here first, do what I'm doing, just speaking, so that you can gain confidence of presenting. All of you guys will do that. Right? So, let's go back to this. All right. Yep. So we have two examples for it. The first one. Okay. So can we just focus on the HTML document and what we see? This side. So we have, this is some text, and this is some text, and this is some text. Let's look at this one. This is the first one. This is the second one, which is, it is right around D. It is right around D. It is right around D. So we have 1, 2, 3. I think let's focus on these. It's starting from here up until this point. Right. So let's look at CSS, because CSS is written here in like in lines in the style chain, right? Style element. Remember, whatever's in between the style element, because with CSS you don't have HTML, you don't understand this. So we use a tag selector, right, which is the div. Div is a tag. Right? We use a div as a tag. So we tag all the divs. Right? Then we have the pseudo selector. That was telling us, since we know there's a lot of list of divs, right? I'm interested in the second one. And in the second one, when the background red. Did it happen? It did, because the second, this is some text, is one, right? Remember, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. Then here, we are selecting what? A div, and it's going to give us a list of 1, 2, 3. Right. If I can just remove this column up until this 2, all the text that is here on this paragraph, on this paragraph, basically, because it's selecting everything. Then, in order for me to be specific, I'm using a zero selector here. Okay, I'm not interested in using a class. I'm going to just use zero selectors. Okay, give me the child of 2. When you give me the update the style, the background height, because this is just a color. The background provided, remember, it is a shorthand. And in that shorthand, it's not like they are all required. If you're declaring the background property, you are not required to cover all those possible properties. Most of them are optional. There is a required one. Let's say I can just like background here and URL, and then it won't complete because it also is expecting that actually on the background image URL. Yeah. So let's go in here. Okay. So what we see here, we are selecting. We have this the end chart 3. So this selects every third element among any group of sequence. Right. Can you hear that? Are you sure?
So it's just like selecting every third one from whatever list that you
Yes. But can you know the difference between this one and this one?
There isn't a selected
Yeah.
the specific
There's a
one.
tag in the front, which is this item. This one and this one are like similar because they have a tag and a target. And this one is also a tag and a tag. Let's look at this one. So this one is targeting with these items, right? There is also this one, which is, so this one is going to just highlight everything, everything.
One of them.
Yes, sir. So I will hold the same line. Can I ask you at the back? Can you understand this?
Slightly,
Slightly.
yes,
Okay.
I understand.
But you're looking at the money, that's the thing, the entire thing. Nobody is looking at the entire. Let's try to focus here. Because tomorrow there is a new material, so you won't know how to grasp clarity. Okay guys, can you try to focus on it? Whenever we have slide, you can write in it, I don't mind, because you're taking notes and understand. But just forget about the monitor or the computer up until I say something, because in my mind, when I cover something, you understand. But when you're not looking at me, you're looking at the screen, you're not getting anything, even if you have the sharpest views on things and you won't understand. Right? So, yeah. So, coming from the side, rather than adding classes to each list item, example, class even, which is the dot, it just tells us this is a class. Right. Even and odd, we can use the nth of type. So we have a list item, then we are changing the background color, and then using the background property. And below that, we have a comment that says select alternative item starting with the second item. That's what we did. List item, end of type, then two. So do you understand what I mean? It will start from the second one. Okay. As you can see, nth of types. As you can see, nth of type takes an argument. This can be a single integer, the keyword even or odd, or a formula as shown above. If an integer is specified, only one element is selected, but keywords or formula will iterate through all the children of the parent element and select matching elements similar to navigating items in an array in JavaScript. Keywords even and odd are straightforward, but the formula is constructed using syntax AN plus B. Did you understand that? Did you?
Yes, sir.
I replied to you. Okay, sure. So, on this example, we recently spoke about the descendant combinator, and I made an example of we're all descendants of our great-grandfathers or grandmothers, right? So, coming back to the descendant combinator, the descendant combinator, typically represented by a single space character, combines two selectors such that elements matched by the second selector are selected if they have an ancestor, which is a parent or parent's parent or parent's parent parent.
Sorry, sir. So one thing is sex clause correct. The thing there is called.
Oh, the code.
Yes, the code.
Yeah.
Other question
The UL.
Yes, alright. So the dot one is, would it still be correct if I put a space between the
UL
and the clause? Because I usually do I never really combine.
Yeah.
With
so it will work, but it won't do the same. It won't have the same effect. How? It will work, but it won't have the same effect. So the minute you put space, you are grouping elements. You are not combining. You are grouping. You are grouping elements, which is it will look for all the unordered list. Number one, it will look for every element that has a class called my things. It will look at every list item that is on the page. So that is what is wrong with it. But with this combination, this combination is a parent.
Yeah.
So my thing is available on the unordered list. So it will scan all the unordered list. Once it elements that contain this name of the class, which is in things. Then after that, it's targeting what? They are list items. So whatever is going to be started is list items. Not the URL, not my things, but the list item. Right? Sure. So the descent combinator is technically one or more CSS white space characters. The space character and or one of four characters, carriage return, form feed, new line and tab characters between two selectors in the absence of another combinator. Additionally, the white space character of which the combinator is comprised may contain any number of CSS comments. The descendant combinator is technically one or more CSS white space characters. The space character and or one of four characters, carriage return, form feed, new line, and tab character. Between two selectors in the absence of another combinator. Additionally, the white space character of which the combinator is comprised may contain any number of CSS comments. Can I just read the first definition? The descendant combinator typically represented by a single space character combines two selectors such that elements merged by the second selector are selected if they have an ancestor, parent, a parent's parent, a parent's parent's parent, etc. Elements matching the first selector, selectors that utilize a descendant are called descendant selectors. The reason why I had to go through that again was because of that parent, 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 parent. I like it because it tells us that it can be your mother or your great mother or your great great grandmother. Right? For sure. So we have a child combinator. Remember I said the child relationship is called sibling. Right? Like if I had kids, unfortunately I don't. So yeah, but I do have siblings. Right? I do have siblings. So just have that in mind when we are talking about the child combinator. The child combinator is placed between two selectors. It matches only those elements matched by the second selector that are direct children of elements matched by the first. Can you read that? I'm going to explain it. Read what I just read. Now forget about the last part.
Me.
Yeah.
The child combinator is placed between two CSS selectors. It matches only those elements matched by the second selector that are the direct children of elements matched by the first.
Okay. Can you try to explain what you see on the CSS, Zainab?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, if I search the book correctly,
Okay.
so when I do my research, what that code will only apply to not the first one, but the ones after that. I think, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Okay. So this.
Sorry, was that your question? I'm sorry.
No. Yeah.
So the combinator will basically specify that everything, like you said yesterday, is value.
Mm-hmm.
So everything in the list item goes.
Okay. So since we know that we use CSS for styling purposes, right? What is going to be styled with those targets are direct, I'm saying that again, direct descent of the parent, right, which is the unordered list element that has my thing as a class. So any direct child, right, direct child of the class, my things, that is under and unordered list is a parent, right? So you read it from this side, right? So the parent is always it always comes last, the parent. So the children up until 2, the parent. So Li is the children. My things is a parent to that Li, but the UL is a parent to my things. Is that clear? Because the parent is the UL. Okay. So element matched by the second selector must be the immediate children of the elements matched by the first selector. This is stricter than the descendant combinator, which matches all elements matched by the second selector, for which there exists an ancestor element matched by the first selector, regardless of the number of hops up the dome. Yeah. Let me just give it correct. The elements matched by the second selector must be the immediate children of the elements matched by the first selector. This is stricter than the descendant combinator, which matches all elements matched by the second selector, for which there exists an ancestor element matched by the first selector, regardless of number of hops up the dome. Did you understand?
I think I understand.
So,
I don't know definitions of
yeah, but at least you guys know what to research on. If you still are not sure, which is put it under research, so that when you get home you can just watch it. Even you don't need to watch the entire video, like you can just have a listen to it. I used to program my subconscious like that. Like I used to play when I was doing Angular, for an example, I would like play the tutorial of Angular. Then sleep. When I'm sleeping, like when I dream, there was the other day where I was dreaming. I felt like I was in a mountain, right? Like I was being taught at a mountain, Angular. Like it's like they were teaching me this programming framework at a mountain. I was like, no way, because like when I woke up, it was still playing on the PC. I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't dreaming, so like just to program the subconscious mind, just play even when you're sleeping. Just yeah. All right. Now. So, I think this is the.
I didn't see that in the last time. Was it? Was it? Yeah.
Yes,
It's the same. Yeah, it's not yesterday, the day before when I wasn't here yesterday.
Okay.
But
Okay,
you
David.
still receive the report is
Yeah. Cool. It won't. You see that one? Won't change. It won't change because I want you guys to do more research. Because the header is research and code. Okay. Can you just remind ourselves what is a CSS declaration block? No, not you.
So, what?
A CSS declaration block.
That is.
Okay.
I'm sure, but I think that spot when it's in the rules with the declaration is like next in the bracket spot when it's like the declaration
I have a question for you, but yeah. You see those braces? The opening and the closing? They are called a declaration block. Right. Just, you understand that part? Okay.
Okay, and regarding what you said, I think declaration is when you say the dot something you name it or
Target.
right? Yeah, so I would call variables, but I don't want to.
Yeah, you can call them. It is a
okay, I
variable.
go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically when you declare a variable, so you'll be like dot my thing or I don't know, like
It's already been declared in HTML, so you're not declaring it, you are using it.
Yes, no, you are.
Yeah, so the declaration block is that opening curly brace and the closing.
Yes.
So what goes in between those braces? Property and the value. What is the whole entire properties, that the list of properties, what do you call them as a collective? The root set. So whatever property and values that you have between the opening and the closing of those braces, it's called CSS rule set, because The minute you apply class to that, it's going to be applied, which is the colors, whatever properties you may have. Right? Do you understand? So, okay,
The
yeah.
CSS rule that's what's between
The code itself, the CSS code itself.
which is also known as the properties of the
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
I did research.
Okay. So, sorry? Okay. Can you guys just for the last time, Aisha, tell us the difference between internal and external style sheet?
Okay. Internal, it means it's it's on the thing.
The HTML. Okay. Using the style tag.
Yes.
Okay. External?
That one I'm sure like oh she didn't use the
Yeah, but okay.
oh wait. Sorry, I was confusing with the relative.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense because
Internal is when you introduce the stuff like in the HTML document to add a little CSS there, and external is when you create its own little
separate documents.
yeah.
Okay, so do you understand that? And inline is, which is using the style attribute. Using the style attribute. That is internal, which is when you're using the style tag, that is internal. When you are using inline, on an element, there is a global attribute that is called style. You remember the BG color that we did? That was on the style tag. So that is an inline styling. So now you were saying something?
I was saying the inline one that happens realistically, basically in the
Element itself. Yeah. You're right. Using what attribute?
style.
Okay, sure. So we must never forget that those PCs that we find on elements, they are called attributes because it's going to be important when you guys are starting with JavaScript because you use a lot of that to extract information out of your templates. Like an example with the input, I know we haven't covered forms because I said to you guys we must read it to JavaScript. Reason being, you need to understand how to extract the data out of those forms. I know there is an attribute that is called value that holds the values that are in the input. Right? You can pre-populate the value attribute because you know some inputs are pre-populated. Let's say if you are going to write a name, there's a gray name right inside the input itself and you type, it just moves on, which is it's using the value attribute. But I'm just saying this to make sure that you guys understand why I'm so why I'm so strict when it comes to naming things the way they are, because it's going to be required when you in JavaScript and using jQuery, so that you can understand what can you use to target a certain element. Yeah. So for today's session, this is it, guys. To speak about tomorrow, we'll have another one tomorrow. Sorry?